Someone explain to me exactly what we're doing here.
Nothing.
We got multiple fights. Look at this. We got a little German suplex action.
Greeny, that is not good when a player goes to the ground without a helmet on. Like, somebody could get hurt.
This is
badly.
actually some of the dumbest, most idiotic BS. Like,
Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm hearing in my. Like, I hear him say, "Hey, let's just hold this for next hour when we talk about it." But I'm just going to say this, though.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this. Like, look, players need to take accountability and some responsibility for acting like idiots. That's not what you're out there for. Like, dude, look at this. You're squaring off like it's UFC. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, honestly, if it was a player that, honestly, for me, I didn't think was going to be a meaningful contributor to my football team, I would be cutting people left and right. Honest to God, I'd be going, look, get him out of here, because it's proven nothing. Doing that kind of stuff proves nothing. And it's not, you know what, it's football, it's hot, you're going to get someone else. You know what? You barely practice. You guys practice once a day. You wear pads once a day. They cut down the off season. They've made it so much easier. You're making boatloads of money. This kind of stuff, you know what? We used to go and have joint practices. We used to went to Platteville for a week. Used to practice against the Chicago Bears. When I was with Cleveland, Atlanta came into Cleveland. We practiced against them. No one was doing this kind of BS, man. I don't know why this has become something that's so commonplace now with players, but they need to knock this off.
And I'll tell you this, Greeny, give Brian Schottenheimer credit, because he certainly didn't put all the blame on the Saints. He thought the Cowboys could have handled things better as well.
I saw the smile on your face, Hawk. I'm curious if you have a slightly different perspective. I don't know it one way or the other, but I was watching you smile as you were watching this. What do you think of it?
Because Lewis is so mad, and I understand it. We're trying to get stuff done here. But absolutely, for me, this is going to happen. I remember Aaron Donald swinging his helmet around. There is nothing I despise more as a player than these joint practices, because it is such a way to circumvent the preseason process. What joint practices feel like to us as players is 3 preseason games in a row, because I'm trying to audition for the other coaching staff. I'm going against these guys. We're competitive. Every single drill, from 1-on-1 to 7-on-7 to every third down, red zone. It felt like the Super Bowl, because the tempers are flaring, the egos are going, and we're doing this every single day with no refs, no fines. So this stuff is going to happen. I agree with Lewis. It derails practice. It derails the process. But more than anything, the joint practices in and of themselves, I know the coaches love them, because they are so highly competitive in the most minuscule amount of reps, drills, you name it. We're going full on go.
You know what, though? You know what, Hawk? I'll disagree with you with this. It's pro ball, man. That's what they're paying us to do. You know, the fact that every drill is competitive and you feel as though everything is the Super Bowl and you have to prove yourself over and over again, I mean, that's just what we do. That's what they're asking us to do, or that's what we get paid to do. See this right here, you know, swinging and throwing punches and stuff like that. That's not proving anything. That's not what you're being paid to do. That doesn't impress me at all. And there's no excuse to do this. There's just not. There's plenty of time where you want to knock somebody out, knock them out during 11-on-11. Kick somebody's ass during 11-on-11. Don't do this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff is not impressive to me. It never has been.
And Hawk, here's where I would push back. At the top of the show, we talked about how, hey, we want to see Quinton Mitchell against A.J. Brown, and that's going to be good against good. They're going to get better. We're not going to see that in a preseason game.
No, here's the thing. Hawk, I don't have an opinion on it one way or the other, but I think that there is a perception people have that coaches love this, that they want to see their fight. They want to see this anger. They want to see their guys stand up for each other. They want there's some element of this that is team building and that sort of thing. You seem, Lewis, staunchly opposed to that.
Look, I mean, if it comes down to obviously now, if someone starts something, then protect your boys.
Right.
Then go in there and do what you got to do. But to be looking for this kind of thing and saying, hey, look, well, this guy really fought for that guy when the fight broke out. Look, you know what I want to see? I want to see you maintain gap integrity. I want to see when the offensive guard comes and pulls out and you're trying to contain the run, I want to see you knock his face off and turn the ball back in. I want to see you light people up, knock people off the ball. That's what I'm paying you to do. If I want to see you do that, you know what? Then I'll join the UFC and see if I can come get you to become a fighter.
Well, you could join the WWE, because that German suplex was being done by Brock Rechsteiner, who is a wide receiver who was also the son of WWE Hall of Famer Scott Steiner. and the cousin of WWE star Braun Breaker. So,
well, that's awesome. That's great.
He actually has learned. He grew up with that.
What was his name again?
His name is Brock Rechsteiner.
I'm going to have to look at the final 53-man.
He's a wide receiver. We'll see if he winds up making the team. Okay, so we had all of this. It was what it was. Now, the Cowboys also on this day introduced their newest defensive addition, and it's that man. You recognize him, and boy, I like the look. That's Von Miller, coming off a 9-sack season with the Commanders. That's more than any Cowboy had last year, and he talked about his goals with his new team.
One thing for me is to be the best teammate that I could possibly be, to help everybody improve, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, and to win a championship. That's my number one goal. When it comes to playing football and getting sacks, like I said, I could still roll out of bed to do that.
He can roll out of bed and do that. I think this move is being underrated. I think the impact of this is being underrated. Here's the concern. That a player at his age, you're going to have injury concerns, and or reality is going to be injury hawk, and he's not going to be able to contribute much. And if that's the case, then he's a glorified coach, and all of that is fine too. But that guy last year was still rushing the passer at a ridiculous rate. And if the Cowboys add that to what is already a massively improved defense, having drafted Caleb Downs and some of the other additions they've made, to me, this defense could take, Mike, I'll start with you, could take a monster leap forward.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Greeny. Greatness includes having attributes you can't see. When I was at the Jets at this similar stage, we signed Jason Taylor.
Yes.
I remember the conversations he would have with DeBrickashaw Ferguson and other offensive linemen, and I think Von Miller may make Tyler Guyton a better player just by having lunch with him, talking about how he's a pro, how he recovers, how he lifts weight. So I think Von Miller, 15, 20 snaps a game, yeah, maybe he comes in 6 to 8 sacks, but I think this guy's impact will be well beyond the scorecard. I think this is a great signing.
Talk to me, Hawk.
Yeah, I agree. I think the impact he has as a leader, he's a 2-time champion, and I do agree he can get out of bed and get sacks because he is that much of a savant when it comes to getting after the quarterback. You add that to a defense that made a bunch of moves this offseason, nothing crazy splashy, which I like from the Cowboys for once because I do feel like they're building it brick by brick. But when you look at all the elements, you have Caleb Downs, who I think is going to be a leader on that defense. Well, now, just in case there's the things that he doesn't know as a player because he's new to the league, and although he is lights out on the field, now you have Von Miller, who truly has been here at the highest level, future Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winner, someone who's from Dallas and understands everything that comes along with this.
Look, Lewis, look at the numbers on the screen. They got nowhere to go but up defensively.
Yep.
But with the addition of Downs, who, look, you can tell it better than anybody. I know there were people who thought that after Mendoza, he was the best player in this draft. Cowboys steal him where they wind up getting him. That addition and the others they have made. What are we looking at in the potential of this defense this year?
I think, look, we'll start with Caleb Downs. I think, first and foremost, the fact that he comes from Ohio State where he ran a system run by Matt Patricia that's as complicated as any system as you'll see in the NFL and was as efficient as he was, especially at that right there. Getting ball carriers on the ground, helping his defense get off the field, get the ball back to his offense. That's the number one thing that he is going to bring, the efficiency with which he plays. Number two, the communication that he plays with. Most big plays in the NFL happen because people aren't on the same page. He ran things at Ohio State. He's going to get this defense on the right page. His impact on this defense is immeasurable. There's a reason why people thought he was one of the best players because of how he played on the field, but it's more so like the communication, the versatility, the professionalism. When I got a chance to talk to him, I'm sitting there going, has this guy already been in the NFL? Because he just comes off that way. That kind of stuff is the kind of stuff that you can't measure at the combine, but you're going to measure it. You're going to see it on the football field, and you're going to see it translate to this defense making huge improvements this year.
Greedy, what a good player comp. Cooper DeJean, Christian Parker, the new defensive coordinator of the Cowboys, came over from Philadelphia. Cooper DeJean played safety, played nickel, played all over the field. I think that's what Caleb Downs could do. With Jalen Thompson, they have two versatile and effective tackling safeties. That will cut down those big explosive plays they gave up a year ago.
All right, we'll see how much better they are. We'll see if they stop fighting during these workouts here during